Oak Island, a speck of land off the coast of Nova Scotia, shrouded in fog and legend. For more than 2 centuries it has guarded a secret, luring treasure hunters with the promise of unimaginable riches and confounding them with unparalleled ingenuity. The island has always fought back. Its greatest weapon? Water. An endless, relentless siege from the cold Atlantic, a watery fortress designed to protect whatever lies buried deep within its clay and stone. For centuries, the Money Pit's greatest defense has been this water. The mysterious flood tunnels, an engineering marvel of their time, have frustrated every searcher who dared to challenge them. They are the island's immune system, a deadly trap that has claimed fortunes and even lives. Generations of explorers have thrown the full force of modern technology at this ancient problem. They've deployed massive pumps, capable of moving thousands of gallons a minute, only to watch the water level remain stubbornly unchanged. They've sunk colossal steel caissons, hoping to hold back the flood, only to have them buckle and fail. Each attempt, a testament to human determination, has been met with the same chilling result: defeat. The tunnels, fed by an unknown source, have proven to be an unsolvable puzzle, a watery roadblock that has protected the island's secret for over 200 years. The sheer volume of water, the precision of the engineering, it all points to a design of staggering complexity. But what if the trap was more than just a defense? This is where Lagina, after decades of relentless pursuit, began to see a different possibility. While others saw a brute force obstacle, Rick saw intention, a deliberate pattern hidden within the chaos. The water itself, the very agent of their frustration, concealed a secret. He began to question the fundamental assumption that had guided every previous search. What if the tunnels weren't just a barrier? What if they were a guide? He theorized that the tunnels were not just traps, but a cleverly disguised repository for knowledge. A new, unbelievable theory began to take shape: that the very booby trap is a cryptic map left by the Knights Templar. This radical idea reframed the entire quest. The flood tunnel system was no longer just an obstacle to be overcome, but a message to be decoded. The placement of the tunnels, their depth, their very construction, every element could be a variable in a complex equation. If Rick was right, the Knights Templar, masters of secrets and symbols, had not just buried a treasure. They had hidden a map in plain sight, disguised as the treasure's deadliest defense. To test this hypothesis, he knew he had to go back. He returned to the very source of their frustration, not to fight the water, but to listen to what it had to say. A crane lifts waterlogged timber from slurry as droplets cascade onto the table. In the lab, gloved hands position the saturated wood under bright, even light for macro inspection. A specialist brushes away reagent. Sediment lifts and the grain reveals finer textures. Under raking light, shallow incisions emerge, linear sequences and nodal clusters appear as condensation clears. Outlines distinguish natural checks from intentional cuts. Suspected glyphs pulse beside a reference tablet. Analyzing debris recovered from the deepest flood tunnel, Rick and the experts discovered something extraordinary: runic-like markings etched directly into the ancient wood. Hidden by centuries of mud and high pressure, these weren't construction marks. They were a coded message, placed there by the original builders. In the Oak Island war room, the atmosphere is thick with a mixture of hope and exhaustion. The geometric patterns discovered deep within the flood tunnel are projected onto every available screen, a silent, stubborn puzzle that has resisted every conventional attempt at decryption. For weeks, the team has thrown the full weight of modern and historical analysis at the markings. Cryptographers have cross-referenced every known alphanumeric cipher, from Caesar shifts to Vigenère squares, all to no avail. Historians have scoured archives for similar patterns in medieval construction, finding nothing that matches. The frustration is palpable. The markings are clearly intentional, a message from the past, but its language remains alien. The team is at an impasse, staring at a code they cannot crack, a lock for which they have no key. The question hangs heavy in the air: what did they miss? But Rick Lagina, driven by an intuition honed over a lifetime of pursuing this mystery, suspects the answer lies not in complex textual codes, but in the very philosophy of the Knights Templar themselves. The Templars were not just warriors, they were master builders, bankers, and navigators. Their secrets were often hidden in plain sight, concealed within sacred geometry, architectural alignments, and cartographic symbols. Rick proposes a radical shift in perspective. What if the markings aren't a message to be read, but a diagram to be followed? What if the trap isn't just a trap, but a guide? He urges the team to stop looking for letters and start looking for landmarks, to treat the tunnel's markings not as a text, but as a map. The new approach galvanizes the room. The focus shifts from cryptography to cartography. The team begins overlaying the geometric patterns from the flood tunnel onto maps of Oak Island. They compare the angles and lines to known landmarks. The mysterious arrangement of boulders known as Nolan's Cross, the strange geometry of the swamp, and the original money pit site. Suddenly, disparate elements begin to click into place. An angle in the markings perfectly mirrors the alignment between two key boulders. A curve in the pattern traces the shoreline of the swamp with uncanny precision. It becomes clear they are looking at a schematic, a set of instructions encoded in the very structure of the island's deadliest defense mechanism. Then comes the final, stunning revelation. Rick, studying a high-resolution multispectral scan of the markings, notices a faint, almost invisible symbol etched at the intersection of several key lines, a symbol the team had previously dismissed as an imperfection in the stone. It's a cross pate, the unmistakable emblem of the Knights Templar. This was the signature, the confirmation. This was not a construction blueprint, it was a sophisticated geometric code. Rick had done it. He had decoded the Templar map. It points not to the pit itself, but to a precise, secret location, a coordinate previously unexplored, far from the chaos of the money pit. The markings, hidden for centuries, translate not into text, but into a complete, concealed map. A direct guide to the true treasure vault, hidden by the very people who designed the trap meant to protect it. The breakthrough is monumental. The energy in the war room shifts from weary frustration to electric excitement. The centuries-old riddle, laid by the Knights Templar and hidden within the island's most lethal feature, has finally been solved. The team now possesses something more valuable than any artifact previously recovered: a destination, a target. The Templar map has given them an X that marks a spot, and the hunt for the Oak Island treasure will never be the same. For centuries, the Oak Island mystery has revolved around a single, tantalizing spot: the money pit. Generations of searchers have poured their fortunes, and in some cases their lives, into its depths, chasing whispers of Templar gold and sacred relics. But what if the entire endeavor was based on a profound misdirection? The breakthrough discovery by Rick Lagina within the island's deadliest trap, the flood tunnel, has shattered every long-held assumption. The geometric pattern found etched into the tunnel's structure wasn't just a maker's mark, it was a key. Once decoded, this cryptic message transformed into a sophisticated Templar map, a guide left by the original depositors. And its first, most shocking revelation was that the money pit was a decoy, an ingenious, brutal, and ultimately diversionary piece of engineering designed to distract and exhaust all who followed. The map's coordinates didn't point to the familiar, disturbed ground of the money pit. Instead, they locked onto a precise, untouched location nearby. This wasn't a correction of a few feet, it was a fundamental redefinition of the entire search area. The true target, according to this ancient blueprint, lay hidden in a place no one had ever thought to look. The Knights Templar, it seemed, had played the long game, and the Fellowship was just now beginning to understand the rules. The decoded map from the flood tunnel provides a definitive X marks the spot. The target is confirmed. The race is on to drill into the Templar target. There's no time to waste. The atmosphere in the war room is electric, a mixture of elation and profound apprehension. After years of chasing shadows, they finally have a tangible, verifiable target provided by the island's original architects. The order is given, and the team mobilizes with a speed and purpose never seen before. Heavy equipment is moved to the new zone, a patch of ground that has, until now, remained pristine and unexcavated. Before breaking ground, a final, non-invasive survey is essential. The team deploys ground-penetrating radar, programming the exact coordinates into the system. This is the moment of truth before the first drill bit turns. As the GPR antenna glides across the Earth, data streams onto the monitor. The team watches, holding their breath. They're looking for anomalies, anything that suggests a non-natural formation beneath the surface. Then, it appears. Not a vague shape or a questionable reading, but a clear, geometrically perfect anomaly. The screen resolves a massive, strong rectangular reflection, the unmistakable signature of a large void-like structure. It's a textbook GPR hit for a chamber or vault. The operators can only stare, confirming what the map promised. The data is undeniable. Down below, something significant is waiting. The shape is too precise, too angular to be a natural geological feature. It's a construct. The GPR data is processed, generating a stunning three-dimensional model of the subsurface target. The image that emerges is beyond their wildest theories. It reveals not just a simple chamber, but a meticulously engineered vault, protected by an intricate, massive stone cap. Furthermore, the scan indicates the presence of a large, central metallic mass within the chamber. Most incredibly, the model shows what appear to be sophisticated water diversion and isolation channels built around the vault, a reverse-engineered flood tunnel designed not to inundate, but to protect. This wasn't just a buried chest. This was a fortress. The centuries-old mystery of Oak Island, a puzzle that had confounded the world, was seemingly laid bare by the builders themselves. Flatbeds and the drill rig roll down a muddy access road as dust plumes rise. The crew lays mats, flags ripple, rig feet deploy and hydraulic lines connect. Auger heads turn, torque wrenches click, the control panel powers up, RPMs tested. With the map decoded, the search is no longer blind. It is precise, surgical, and certain. The team is now moving on a path laid out by the original architects. The final spectacular prize, the legendary Templar treasure, is within reach. The world holds its breath for the moment they pierce the ground. Lagina has accomplished the impossible. The greatest intellectual challenge in treasure history has been conquered. The Templar map, hidden in plain sight, now guides the Fellowship. The gold is waiting. The final chapter of Oak Island is about to be written. Please subscribe to our channel, History Documentary Hub, for more insightful videos and intriguing content.